the problem with the New World Order. The problem with the New World Order is that it's based upon trying to control everybody. It's not based upon people of a nation trying to, or devoting themselves to their nation, being honest with their people and saying this is what we're going to do and this is why. It's based upon cloak and dagger, as Kennedy said, guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. These people are the scum. Okay? They don't have any courage. They don't have any integrity. And that's the problem. If any organisation is led by scum who have no integrity, the organisation suffers. It's a business, or if it's whether it's a business or whether it's a sports team, whether it's a family, whether it's a nation, whatever it is. And the problem is this New World Order sham is led by people who are scum. And I don't just say that it's not merely judgmental. I'm basically saying that these people are operating without courage. They're operating in a cowardly manner to try and sneak something in rather than being upfront and having the courage to face what would undoubtedly be their complete dismissal. So they're trying to sneak things in, and the problem is people don't respect it, and they know that what they're doing can't be respected. So they're sitting there in this coven trying to run things using sneaky, snide means, and everyone can see it, or at least if they can't see those what's happening, they can see the results. These guys have tried to create a whole class of humanity who are subservient to them, who are non-thinkers, who are babies. But the problem is, what they're trying to create is a communist ideal, where you've got every single human being under that tyranny, under complete control. They can't say anything, but instead of doing it at the point of a gun, they've tried to use morality or false morality to try and shut people up. Whereas people also know that their systems have been hijacked, so if they do say anything, that system will be used against them instead of for them. That's what these people have done. So they've basically said, okay, we're not even going to consider doing things the right way. We're going to find every single way of doing things the wrong way, the nasty way, the snide way, the deceitful way, and we'll use that as our playbook. And that's what these people have done. Anything which is overt, which has conscience, has been disregarded. It's all to do with anything nefarious. So they've tried to introduce Satanism to try to degrade people's moral and spiritual ideals. They tried to emphasize sexuality in a, how would you put it, in a way that's not healthy for people. You know, the same people are running the porn studios as are trying to do the rest of this damage. And, you know, if you've got 5 minutes, just see who's running those things and you'll figure out which group of people are doing this and why. We've got a very big problem worldwide, and it has to be solved. And the only way we can solve it is by recovering control of our nations from these people's influence. It has to be done. It has to be done because it can't continue. All they're doing is rotting or trying to rot really good things. And the problem is they can't rot something which is good. They have to degrade it in order to rot it. Like a fungus. It can't attack wood that's in good condition. It has to break it down in order to feed on it. And that's what they're trying to do to our culture. And they're aware of what they are. They're aware of how they're behaving, but they don't see any other way of behaving. The problem is, it's been going on for a long time, but the problem is, it doesn't really matter what the problem is. The solution is to get control of our countries back from these people. And it's not really, when it's done, it will be like, well, why didn't we do this before? But it relies upon a number of people being wholly and completely aware of what's really going on and taking action. And that doesn't rely upon one set of people, it's going to rely upon a whole bunch of different sets of people. And that's ultimately what's going to solve this problem. It won't be one particular group. It will be thousands probably of separate groups around the world, certainly hundreds in each country, more or less simultaneously getting these people out of any position that they can do damage in their country, like I say, almost at the same time. That's the solution. That's going to happen. And so these people are just playing for time. They can't ever win, so they've just said, well, we'll just try and we'll do as much damage as we can. And they have done a lot of damage. But the heart wood, the good wood of the trees of our nations is still good. It's still fundamentally very hard, good, solid wood. It's based upon our culture and our heritage, our customs, everything that have developed over thousands of years. And these little putrid morons think that they can just, degrade little bits of it and paint over it with disgusting mess, and it will cease to be, because they realise that it's far, far, far too hard for them to degrade and destroy. So ultimately they're ruined. It's just sick to watch what they've done and to watch the results in our society, and it's a bit annoying because when the problem is solved, our societies will run and function the way they used to and the way they must, the way they ought to, for the benefit of the people in that society, not for the benefit of this tiny minority of people who are trying to subvert the nations of the world and have the whole world under their control. It's crazy. These people are out of their minds. So, it's reassuring to know that that is the ultimate outcome. But it's still kind of annoying in the meantime that nothing works. And like I said in my previous video, the reason nothing works is because you can't get sensible answers when the leadership of any situation or any organisation or group is rotted or rotten or dysfunctional. It simply won't work. People need leadership they can believe in. Not one single person in any nation at the moment believes in their leader, because their leaders are all puppets. And that's the problem. Because anyone who says anything out of line, they get moved out of the way. So it's clear that the government is not in charge of the country. The government's being used by other people just to enforce a control situation. And it's getting worse. It's irritant after irritant after irritant is being introduced to try to slowly control everyone. It's communism through the back door. When they first tried communism, they tried it at the end of a gun. And that fell to pieces. So now they're like, okay, fine. What we'll do is, we'll try it with soft, fluffy, whatever. But if you look close, it's rotten. What's being presented to us, this soft exterior, this liberalism, this, everybody must be blah, 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 treated like children. It's garbage, and it's intended to undermine people, and people can see it. If someone hands you something that's slimy and dripping with goo, and they're like, look at this wonderful, and you're like, no, that's disgusting. That's what these people are trying to do. They're trying to pass off disgusting, disgraceful things as decent, and you can't. It doesn't work. People are not stupid, and the whole methodology that they have in mind is we have to treat people as though they're stupid. Even if they're not stupid, we must continue to try to treat them as though they're stupid. And all they're doing is creating a bigger and bigger and bigger crescendo of reaction. Eventually, this is going to come back on them so badly. And fine, I don't care. It's their problem. They started it. And again, if you don't know who it is, you're going to have to do some thinking for yourself, and that will sort the wheat from the chaff. Because if you can't be bothered to use your own brain to figure out who's doing this, and if you don't have the intelligence to actually figure it out, then you're pretty much useless. So, I don't know, go and sit on the couch, watch TV, and become an even greater problem if you want. But those who have an inkling, an iota of intelligence, and an inkling to find what's really going on, the information you need is there. Some of it's been tarnished, some of it's been tainted intentionally to try to throw you off the scent, but it's quite obvious and clear. You've been taught to disbelieve it, you've been taught that it's wrong, but the fact is it's true. And these people have dreadful, awful control over the systems of our nations. But when they are removed from that position, our nations will function perfectly well. And these people are afraid of that because they will feel the wrath of the people of the nations that they've tried to overthrow and take over. So what do? All we have to do is become much more aware and to begin to act as though our nation, in the way our nation ought to be acted upon by us. We need to take charge of our nation. Stop pretending someone else is going to do it for you. Act in the right way. Start to raise your own standards. And for heaven's sake, stop watching the television, because that will just poison your mind. Because the people who are running it are the people who are causing these problems. The same people who are running the porn factories. They're all the same crowd. You've just got to use half a brain and, I don't know, maybe a few hours of genuine, open-minded research, and you'll figure it out. There's nothing weird and wonderful about it. It's pretty simple. It's distasteful, but it's pretty simple and straightforward. Then you'll be thinking, crikey, I wish I'd seen this before. What do? Well, like I say, you have to recognize that your country, your nation, is the solution. Because their idea is to destroy your nation, to destroy all culture. They can't do it, but that's their intention. And the damage they're doing while they're trying to do this impossible thing is it's like someone trying to throw paint all over a country and pretend that the country didn't exist. It's nonsense, but it's messy. So all we have to do is remember what our country is and clean it up. Clean the rotten rubbish that they've put on our country off of it. Just clean it off. And you start with yourself as an individual. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to remember what our country is and what we stand for, who we are as people. Whatever your country. In England, we have to, England, Scotland, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Wales, all the parts of the United Kingdom, remember who we are. Be proud. Don't take the easy option. It's going to take some courageous, a small group actually, basically, of courageous, patriotic people, to fix this problem in this country. If you can find other such people, link up with them, communicate with them, share your ideas, because that's how this is going to be fixed. Yes, a small group of people put their heads together to plot this problem, to plot this plan that they're producing, fine. All we need to do is get our heads together and direct ourselves towards fixing the problem, and we will fix it. We will fix it. But you've got to get active. You've got to start switching on. They want you to switch off. That's why they produce such media, to degrade you, to distract you, to demoralise you, to make you think your country doesn't exist. But it does. England exists, and it's beautiful. The United Kingdom exists, and it's beautiful. We have to remember that, and we have to cultivate our country. You know, I don't know if cultivate's the right word, but we have to invest in it. We have to live it, breathe it, because without us, it can't be what it must be. So, we have to do our jobs. First off, love your country and love yourself. And we can fix this.